Hello guys, welcome back. In this tutorial we will explore about the pen tool. Pen tool is used to create vector graphics inside Photoshop. So you have this pen tool, and then when we start clicking the pen tool in the canvas, it starts dropping the anchor point. So if I click one more time, it adds another point there, and there's a line between these 2 points which is a straight line. So you can also use or get a curve just by clicking and dragging it. Okay, so a normal click will give me a cornered line. Okay, whereas click and drag will give me a Bezier handle with two tangents there. Okay, so you have two types of anchor points or corner points, which is one is corner, another one is the smooth thing. So you can choose between them based on the requirement. Let's say you want to draw a flower, then you want a corner point there, then here you want the smooth one, and then here again you want a smooth one, here you want a corner, here a smooth, here a corner, smooth. So your shape requirements are very unique. So in that case you need to make a choice between the Bezier type and the corner type. So you have these handles, these points, which are basically right now a mix of corner points and the smooth points. So if I hold Alt and then click on this particular point, that point, especially when it is a smooth or Bezier handle, it turns into a corner. Okay, just hold Alt and click on the point, and those points turn into a corners. And let's say if you want to make them into Bezier, again you need to hold Alt, click and drag, and that turns into a Bezier handle. Okay, so you can also move this point not by holding Alt but holding Control. Just you need to click, make sure that you have only selected one point, and then move it there. Okay, and then you can start modifying these handles as per your requirement. So it's very simple. Hold Alt, click and drag. Okay, so if you could able to see, when I'm holding Alt and move the cursor onto the point, that's giving me a corner point tool, which is the last one, sorry, convert point tool. So convert point tool can be accessed by holding Alt and then just click and drag like that. Okay, now if you don't like the placement of this, you want to move that, you need to hold Control, make sure that you have selected only one point, and then you move it, and then you can just select that handle and then modify it. Okay, hold Control, make sure that you have selected only one point, move it and edit that. So Alt is to modify the point, Control is to move the point. Okay, very simple. Now you have you need to add some points. You can just click, you are in the pen tool, just click and that adds the points. Okay, maybe you wanted them to be more controlled in terms of shape, just click and then move that point. Now how these points are coming, because of this feature is being on, so it is automatically adding or deleting the points. Auto add, delete. So if that is on, then only your tool will add the points. Okay, you need to make it on, then click on the curve, and then it adds a point there. Okay, and as it is auto add and delete, so if you put your cursor on the curve, it is adding the point. If you just click on the point, it will delete that point. Okay, so that's how you delete them. Alternately, if you don't have that, you can go here and then choose delete anchor point and then delete them. And you can also choose add anchor point and add them. That's what the add anchor point and delete anchor point does for you. Okay, so now I don't think these three tools are necessary to pick there. Directly you can be in pen tool and you can access add anchor point, delete anchor point, convert point tools. How is that? Hold alt for the convert point tool. Okay, just put your cursor on the curve, it add anchor points, put the cursor on the anchor points, it will delete the anchor points. So simple. So you got how you can generally put points and what type of points you have. The next thing is when I'm drawing this shape, okay, if I hold shift, it gives a straight line. Okay, so if you want a horizontal line, you get it. You want a vertical line, you get it, but you need to hold shift there. Okay, and when you are holding shift, not only it's giving me vertical or horizontal, it is also giving me a 45-degree line there. Okay, so lastly you can close that by clicking on the last point and it completes that shape there. Okay, so shift is one thing. Now whenever I am drawing a shape, it's giving me a new shape layer here. Okay, now if I start adding one more shape, I want to subtract this. So if I want to draw that here, okay, it's actually giving me new shape layer. Instead, what I can really do is come here and then choose subtract from the shape and then click there, and then you have subtracted that. So this shape is minus that shape. Now one thing is this particular shape is on top of this, and that's the reason it is giving you the subtraction of that particular path. And here we have this thing called bring shape to front, bring shape to back. So if I take it to the back, you could see it behaves completely different. It's doing this shape and then subtracting, and whatever it has to do for that alignment, it is doing that. So bring forward will do the subtraction. Okay, so now you can also add a combined shape for this, or you can go for intersection, which is again the common, and exclusion, which is going to remove that common area. So you have all that features there. And yeah, now when I'm clicking another point there, another drawing there, it is going to be in the same shape here. And let me select holding control, select all the points, and then we have align to left edge, align to right edge, align to center. So you got all that alignment features also working for your selected path, but make sure that they are one compound shape. Okay, it's like 1, 2, 3 are in same shape layer. How did I get them? Normally when you are drawing a pen tool, okay, that adds up into a new layer. When is that? When you're saying this is a new layer. But when you say combine shapes for the next one, it going to combine these two things as one object there. Okay, so that is where you can choose by holding control, select all the points and then choose left edge alignment. But two different shapes, you need to use your move tool alignment tools. This is not really required. So that's what you have here. You have rubber band. I'll just remove all these shapes. Now when I'm drawing these shapes, when I click and dragging it, okay, you could see from that anchor point to my cursor there is a line. Okay, now you could see there is a line. Now when I switch off the rubber band option, there is no line here. So it is not giving you a visualization that how is it going to come now, unless until I click and then you get the pointer. So rubber band is quite helpful feature for you to see how this is going to look after I'm going to click here. Okay, so that is rubber band for you. And then lastly we have align edges. Let me show you what that actually does. So I'm going to zoom it extra close. Okay, then take the pen tool and then click the points there. Okay, now if you see align edges, if I just put the cursor on the bubble, it is align vector shape edges to the pixel grid. So this is the vector edge, so it is aligning with the pixel grid which is seen here. Okay, so it's a very subtle enhancement to your pixel fill for the vector shape. Okay, that's align edges for you. Then you have width. Let me put it to 40 and 40. The size gets that dimensions of 40 by 40 pixels, which you can you have apart from that you can put a stroke to it. You can also control the thickness. Let me choose a 4 pixel, and then you get a 4 pixel thickness. Okay, then you have different types of lines which you can choose from there. Okay, so let me go, then choose a dotted line, and then you get this nice shape there. Okay, so that is what this all options here in the pen tool. And the pen tool type right now I've taken is the shape. So this is a vector shape. This shape is resolution independent, which means if I take this layer into a high resolution document, it will adapt itself to a higher resolution, as this is a vector one. Okay, the next thing here is the path. So for that I need to take a new empty layer and then choose the path here, and then you have created a path which is just a shape and there's nothing filled inside in it. However, you can right click and then you can go for fill path, and then you can choose different ways of filling it, like the foreground color can be filled, a background color can be filled. You can also fill this with the color of your choice. Okay, and then you have pattern, you have history, you got black, 50% gray, white, and content aware. All that content aware is locked right now because of the background maybe. So apart from that, you have also got this fill path, which is the stroke path, which is going to paint the stroke with the brush settings. Let's say I take a brush. Okay, make sure that I'm in a new layer, and I'm going to take a normal brush which is going to be arrows, and then set the size. And then if you could see, I've got this. Let me change the brush setting, and I'm going to choose the angle to rotation, not rotation, direction. Okay, that's working. Then increase the spacing. Now you get that nice path. Okay, now I'm going to reduce the brush size. Now come to your pen tool for right clicking. So choose the pen tool there, right click, stroke path, and choose the brush tool, because you have set the brush. If you have set history brush tool, you can choose that also, and then you get that arrows working in that. So you can also put nice stitches according to your requirement with this nice tool. So you have the ways to fill this path. Not only that, you got this photograph here, which I'm going to make it to the default. Okay, so I need to take a path and then start drawing it like that. Okay, so you got the path here. I need to convert this path into the selection. So for that, if you go to the path, you got this button here and then click that converts the path into a selection. You can also press Ctrl Enter to get a path into a selection. Now what happens if you do that? Any selection is there and you do color corrections or adjustments there, that will turn that selected area only. So that's the use of the path tool and later converting into a selection. Okay, so you have the path. The pixels right now is logged, and the reason why is it logged is there's a issue with this particular tool right now, but I can explain you what that actually pixels is in a different tool altogether. That is, I'll go to this section where you have all primitive shapes and custom shapes. So I'm going to take a primitive shape, and you could able to see you have shape option, you got path option, and also you got pixels option, which was not working for you. Now pixels option, and you could able to see I've taken some nice yellow color. When I drag it, that is filled with that color, and this is not a vector fill, this is a raster fill, which is a layer which is just filled its pixels. If I move this from a low resolution to a high resolution document, you see the loss of quality if you are doing the fill with the pixels method. Okay, so we have these three options here. As this is not working, you understood, it's just floods the color into that drawing. Okay, let me just delete this and then start drawing something here like that. Okay, once I have drawn that, you got this option called selection. So it is converting your path into selection, but also it is asking you, do you want any feather to it? Let's say if I put a feather of 15 pixels and then fill it, that's going to give you a soft edge. In the old way, that is when I press Ctrl Enter, it's giving me a hard edge. In this method, in the Ctrl Enter method, you need to press Ctrl Enter, then go to select, modify and feather, then give that 15 pixels afterwards, and then do that. Okay, fill, alt backspace. So this is make selection, which is going to give you an additional feature of converting your path into selection along with the feather radius here. Okay, then you have mask, which is going to mask out this photograph, and you should able to see the layer mask has been applied with the path method, and then you have all that options here which you can work with. Okay, and then take extra control over how this path layer mask will generally control your masking, which is again I'm going to discuss this in a different video altogether. So that is how you do it. Now if you click the shape, it is going to make it into a shape instead of your masking or selection thing. So generally you have these three options here, and the path is now going to make a shape, and it's going to make a selection using pixels method with these buttons. That's the whole idea. You could see that. So you got the pen tool, you make it selection, that's one method, and then you got a shape which is going to make that path into a shape, which is not required, I believe, because you can directly choose the shape. Only it is when you have drawn all the way and later you have changed your mind that okay, my path should be a shape, then that's where this is going to be helpful. Okay, that is this feature is about, and you have all the options which I've already explained in the earlier video. So path tool is quite handy and useful tool when it comes to designing, editing, and lot of things. So if you are a Photoshop user, and this is a must and should learn tool for your expertise.